ama God nikupatie hii usiku nione kama kesho utanipatia jibu. Then napata nimeweza kusurvive.
I need to have the respect of all the employees and especially before Marcelo Escalante.
Look, Amador, if you're asking me to fire Marcelo Escalante, I have to tell you right now that I'm not going to do that.
I'm Marcelo Escalante's mother. This is to teach you to stay away from an engaged man.
Why are you treating me like this? Tell me, what do I need to do to get decent treatment from you?
Well, to be honest, I would rather keep my distance. I have my own life, and you have your own commitments.
I'm going to ask you a big favor. That up until this thing has been clarified, this will remain a secret between you and me.
Let's take a dive into the journey that was 2023.
I was injected in several hospitals just because of my condition. So after doing what I went to do, I thought of changing the narrative.
Watu wamenichukulia vizuri, though watu wanielewi. Saa zingine watu waelewi mbona unakaa hivi, una behave hivyo. Remember, every story, every challenge and every triumph contributes to the tapestry of our shared human experience.
Differently able.
Get ready for the captivating return of the FKF Premier League, exclusively on KBC. Brace yourself for the thrill of football as 18 teams battle it out for glory. Every week, KBC brings you not one, but two heart-pounding matches, delivering the best football action right to your living room. The stakes are higher than ever. The league champion takes home a handsome prize of 5 million shillings and also earns the honor of representing Kenya in the prestigious CAF Champions League. Feel the adrenaline, experience the suspense, and join the roar of the crowd as we celebrate the return of Kenya's football legacy. The FKF Premier League, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 and KBC radio stations. Save the date, mark your calendars, and get ready for the ultimate football spectacle. Coming to you live only on KBC. KBC, your true sports partner.
It is exactly at the top of the hour. Welcome to our broadcast this lovely afternoon on the 6th of January 2024. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. My co-anchor this lovely afternoon is Lucy Mora. Just in time for the latest in the world of current affairs, business as well as sports. Let's get to inform you on what is happening in the country at this hour. And we start on the political front, where the Cabinet Secretary for Lands and Housing, that is Alice Wahome, and the National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah have strongly defended the Kenya Kwanza administration development plans and urged Kenyans to give the president time to revive the economy. The CS maintains that the head of state is aware of the rising cost of living and has endeavored to address it through job creation, boosting manufacturing in the country. Safina Party leader Jimmy Wanjigi and Senior Counsel Paul Muite in one hand, and Lands and Housing Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome and National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah on the other differed over the state of the country's economy during the burial of human rights activist John Wamangata, alias Dome, at the PCA Church Mama Ngina in Kino, Kiambu County.
Na wananchi wanaumia. Najua Wamangata pahali ako hata yeye analilia sisi wananchi hapa.
We will be helping the president by telling him the truth that the people are crying.
However, in a quick rejoinder, Wahome Nishungwa maintained that the president is very much determined to see the challenges affecting Kenyans are dealt with once and for all.
The president is very much aware of the challenges, and you're also complaining about taxation. But you're also saying we must bring down the cost of living. That means we must work on production, we must work on the economy, we must do manufacturing.
That I have no other intention but to make sure the state capture bill becomes a reality, not sponsored by government, not as a bill by the leader of majority, but as a private member's bill.
Meanwhile, Gema Member of Parliament Elisha Odhiambo is accusing top Orange Democratic Movement leaders of doublespeak over the need to respect the independence of the judiciary. He was speaking at Mutumbo in North Gem location during the burial of the late grandmother Paulina Opondo, who died at 105 years.
Recently, I heard yesterday that Orengo called on the president to respect judiciary. Fair enough. Judiciary is independent, that requires respect. But if you don't call on the president to respect judiciary, when you have misled Raila to disobey court order.
Elsewhere, the United Democratic Movement UDM has officially inaugurated its branches in Mandera County with a commitment to enhancing service delivery for the residents. The opening of the UDM offices in Mandera County drew the attendance of hundreds of locals who are prominently adorned in the UDM branded t-shirts and caps.
Na kwa hivyo tunataka kuitilia inakuwa stronghold ya UDM ni hapa Mandera, na kwa hivyo hiyo Mandera ndio tunataka kutilia mkazo.
Still within the confines of the devolved units, Nyandarua woman member of parliament, that is Faith Gitau, says she will table a motion in parliament to address what she terms as forgotten traffic rules. Meanwhile, the county government of Kwale has officially launched the distribution of pesticides and equipment meant to deal with armyworms to maize farmers in the county. For this and much more in the County News Roundup.
Nyandarua woman member of parliament Faith Gitau, while promising to table a motion in parliament to address forgotten traffic rules, faulted drivers for reckless driving. She spoke at Kinangop constituency in Nyandarua County during the burial of victims of accident that happened along Nyeri Nyaururu Road on 28 December 2023.
Shida ile tuko nayo ni speed. Na naomba sana na nasihi sana all drivers and especially public drivers, wale wanaendesha matatu, wale wanaendesha bodaboda, wale wanaendesha gari ambazo zinabeba abiria, tafadhalini mchunge sana.
And the county government of Kwale has officially launched the distribution of pesticides and equipment meant to deal with armyworms to maize farmers in the county.
County government kwa tukishirikiana na waheshimiwa wajumbe tumewekeza hapa, tumenunua vitu vya milioni 4.5 ili kusaidia wakulima wetu wa wodi zetu zote 20. Kwa hivyo langu tu ni kuuliza wakulima turudi mashambani tuweze kulima, tuweze kusaidika na baadaye pia.
Meanwhile, over 12,000 students from secondary schools, tertiary education institutions and universities in Makueni County are set to benefit from 85 million shillings bursary funds from the county government.
Tuna mpango wa scholarship. Kuna scholarship nitapatiana specifically za 3 students per every ward, au ni students 90 ambao watapata scholarship nitapatiana in another 2 weeks.
And 196 needy bright students in Busia County are set to benefit from this year's Elimu scholarship sponsored by Jomo Kenyatta Foundation. State and non-state actors have been eyed to join hands with the government to enable more children from humble backgrounds to realize their dreams.
This one we are targeting 16 girls who are to benefit from the program and 13 boys. And the criteria that we are using is the learners who are very needy, bright and needy students are the ones to benefit.
Elsewhere, leaders from Turkana community have asked the Ugandan government to release the 42 Kenyan pastoralists who were arrested last year in Uganda after they were suspected to have killed 3 geologists. The leaders urged Uganda to come up with resolutions to end border conflicts among the Karamojong of Uganda and Turkana of Kenya.
As people of Turkana, make an appeal to them to really try to help us on how best we can handle this particular matter of either compensating or allowing the agencies, the security agencies in Kenya to do investigation.
Now to a top but unfortunate story is that several journalists from different media houses were injured after they were assaulted by bouncers during a raid by the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse at Kettle House Bar and Grill in Lavington in Mudhangari. Now among those injured are the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation's camera person Jane Kibira. A police officer was also injured during the meal. Now Nakada Head of Reinforcement Nicholas Koskei has regretted the incident but maintained that they will not be intimidated in their fight against alcohol and drug abuse in the country.
Drama ensued at Kettle House Bar and Grill in Lavington, Nairobi Friday night after a scuffle between the police officers, journalists and the bouncers during the raid conducted by National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse. The bouncers, donned in black, had resisted journalists taking pictures of them smoking shisha, which is a banned substance. The bouncers, who were armed, injured several journalists and police officers. Some journalists lost their valuables during the scuffle. Kenya Broadcasting Corporation camera person Jane Kibira was badly injured after she was stabbed in the back. Others were Nation Media Group's photographer Boniface Bogita and Standard Media Group photographer Boniface Okendo. A knife suspected to have been used in the stabbings was recovered. The situation was later contained after a contingent of police were brought on the ground to deal with the rowdy bouncers.
We managed to make an entry, and in the process, a scuffle ensued, whereby we managed to gain entry and netted several shisha bongs, and managed to arrest those operators and the ones who are causing fracas.
Give me a reason why. Unipatia reason why.
Head of Reinforcement Nicholas Kosgei says the campaign against drug abuse will continue, reading a riot act to bar owners who deliberately violate the law.
A few officers were actually injured in the process, and we managed to identify those attackers or the assaults, the ones who were assaulting the officers. They are in our custody to face the charges of assaulting officers while on duty.
25 people have been arrested and were taken to Kileleshwa police station waiting to be charged on Monday. Timothy Kipnoso.
Indeed, quite unfortunate. We do hope that Jane is now okay. We can inform you that she will be out of the hospital soon, and of course she is recovering. And also we wish our colleagues who are in various other media houses and all those officers and officials during that particular raid who are injured, we wish them best recovery. Elsewhere, Kenyans have been urged to exercise patience as the government works on improving the economy and the welfare of all citizens. Now, while flagging off a 23 kilometers walk in a bid to raise funds for the construction of a prayer center at Waithaga Church in Murang'a County, the Principal Secretary for Mining and Maritime Economy, Elijah Mwangi, said the government is committed to stabilize the economy and turn around the fortunes of Kenyan people.
As the government tries to lower the cost of living, because that is the discussion at the moment, it is a collaborative effort within everybody who is involved in the production, consumption and savings. We are carrying out value addition. At the moment, we are reviving the Frospa company in Marakwet so that it can also start operating. We have an investor who will be injecting over 4 billion towards that. Two, we are in the process today of identifying a gold refinery investor so that all the gold that is produced in Kenya, both by the artisanal and the small scale and large scale operators, can be refined here in Kenya.
Calling for mass action is not the way, because whenever we have mass action, our past experiences has shown the destruction of property, and there is this avenue that has been created by the government, and I think that avenue should be exploited, that negotiation, and if they negotiate and sit together, they will still think together about how to lower the cost of living.
Also, attention is high at the Kaptian area in Cherangani, Trans Nzoia County, following a prolonged land tussle between 18 beneficiaries. One faction is said to have stopped the subdivision of the 132-acre piece of land, demanding the involvement of officials from the Ministry of Land and not a private surveyor.
Usalama barabarani ni jukumu letu sote. Usiwaletee wanaokupenda majonzi bila sababu. Uwe dereva au uwe unatembea barabarani kwa miguu, fuata sheria zote za barabarani ili kujiepusha na ajali. Usalama barabarani unaanza na wewe. Ujumbe huu unaletwa kwako na Kenya National Highways Authority. Quality Highways, better connections.
Catch the Kisumu and Nanyuki Safari trains as you travel back from your festivities. The daily service runs up to 14th January 2024, with the Nanyuki train departing at 9 a.m. and the Kisumu train at 6:30 p.m.
Spoken word on the way to go.
Spoken word is like a window that God has shown me. Oh, ulipitia kwa hii mlango, so kuna ile ka window pia naona uko poa, unaweza try. But then unajua kuna ile ngoma ya Betty Baya ya 11th hour. So nilikuwa najiambia ile time yenye naenda kufanya kitu mbaya, ama God nikupatie hiyo usiku, nione kama kesho utanipatia jibu. Then napata nimeweza kusurvive one more day.
To book, dial *639# or visit metickets.krc.co.ke. It's safe, affordable, reliable. For inquiries, contact us on 0709 907 000.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, tension is high at the Kaptian area in Cherangani, Trans Nzoia County, following a prolonged land tussle between 18 beneficiaries. One faction is said to have stopped the subdivision of the 132-acre piece of land, demanding the involvement of officials from the Ministry of Land and not a private surveyor.
The 132-acre piece of land, which was bought by a group of 18 members, has had a prolonged court case that was finalized recently. Documents show that the land was bought under the name David Bett and Daniel Kemboi and was supposed to be divided among the members. Each of the 18 members was to get 6 acres. However, a section of relatives to one of the beneficiaries mobilized locals to reject the subdivision exercise, rejecting the involvement of a private surveyor.
Tukaengage pia na surveyors wa county. Watu wa Kaptian shida ambayo wako naye ni kwamba tunataka surveyor wa serikali. Surveyor private? No. Watu wamekataa surveyor wa private.
The prevailing situation forced police from Sirende police station to intervene to restore calm. The land chairman and founding member David Bett said the motive to stop the subdivision was ill and called on the government to take action against those involved.
Watu wengine nasema habana gawa. Na mimi iko title
na huyu nasema bana hana chochote, na huyu nasema ni mtoto ya memba yule tulinunua pamoja, si yule memba, mtoto yake. Nikamwambia kama namna hii, lete mtu mmoja kwa jamii yenu, chagua mtu mmoja akuja kusimamia shamba. Ndio kitu nalikuwa nataka, ni huyu mtu mmoja.
Kuna watu wanalima hii shamba wanajijua, na kuna mwenye anastahili kukawiwa alime mwenye shamba sasa. So tukikuja mambo ya kulima tunataka iishe kwanza, sababu mambo imeisha kotini. Mambo ya kulima no, tunataka watu ukilima unalima portion yako.
Land is protected by the law and everything is done according to the law. So even if you have a claim, you can lay it through the rightful channels. If only we remove violence, we remove uncouth, way of talking and pointing fingers at the registered owner like he doesn't exist. I've had people telling him, go away, the land belongs to the government, you are nothing, That is not proper way to talk.
The incident comes amid increased land tussles in Trans Nzoia, especially at the start of the planting season. Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
Still on land matters, the government has been challenged to name people behind illegal plans to grab a 2,500-acre piece of land in Gikumari village in Ruiru, Kiambu County. Led by Gatongora Ward MCA Dan Gitau, area residents have expressed a fear of losing their land after the Land Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome raised an alarm about the scheme by unknown people to illegally acquire the said land. Now Gitau, together with local politicians, among them former Kiambu Town Member of Parliament Jude Njomo and the ex-Theta Member of Ward MCA, that is Samuel Karema, said in the fact that a private developer's graders working on roads were being guarded by police raised eyebrows about who was involved. Now speaking at Ruiru Land Registry on Thursday, the Land Cabinet Secretary declared that the land commonly known as Juja Farm Block 4 belonged to the residents and dismissed an untrue claim that the government was out to evict the dwellers in a bid to build a housing project.
Regional Commissioner alikuwa hapa, DCC alikuwa hapa, na hili ni kitu inatuonyesha ya kwamba lazima sisi watu wa hapa Gikumari, watu wa Central, watu wa Mount Kenya lazima sasa tujipange.
Hii shamba imeshikana na hiyo ambayo tayari imeibiwa. So wakataka pia kuiba hii ili washikanishe hii shamba na ile ingine ikuwe shamba moja kubwa. Na tukasema watu wamejenga kanisa, wamejenga manyumba, wamezika watu hapa na wanyang'anywe hiyo shamba. Tukasema haiwezekani.
Mwambie mwenzako Mungu wapo. And in other news, members of the Kericho Muslim Association have called on the Registrar of Societies to immediately issue a notice of election of their association officials. The members said the current leadership has illegally held the office since 2011 despite court orders on election. Now addressing a press at Jamia Mosque in Kericho, the members also said the officials have never called for annual general meetings nor issued any audited accounts for the last 12 years. They are now calling on authorities to carry out investigations.
Their continued stay in office has hampered any meaningful development by the Muslim community because they don't consult the membership of the association. Most of those calling themselves officials of the association are imposters and were never elected in office or ratified by the membership to be in office. This includes the vice chairman, the secretary, the assistant secretary, and the management committee, in complete disregard to the constitution of the association.
Mwaka 12 iliyopita kulikuwa na election ilifanywa. Wale ambayo walipatiwa mandate na members and the community ya Waislamu Kericho walichagua viongozi ambayo hawaishi Kericho. Baada ya uchaguzi kufanywa, our members walihama Kericho. So they do not have any mandate holding an office for the association since they are not members of Kericho.
In other news, at least 1,000 people in Kiambu County have been arrested and arraigned in court as authorities intensify the war against drug abuse and illicit brew in the area. Now, the County Commissioner Joshua Nkadha has promised to work with the locals in fighting drugs and substance abuse within the county and embarked on raiding illegal dens. While displaying an assortment of nabbed illegal brew, Nkadha claimed that some illegal bars were operating in the county. He further urged the public to volunteer information and collaborate to make Kiambu drug free.
Tumepeleka watu 1,126 kotini katika ndani ya wiki moja. Ni vita dhidi ya ulevi wa kupindukia katika kaunti yetu ya Kiambu imeanza upya. Hii mkutano tumefanya na county police commanders na mwingine inshallah tutafanya next week na vyombo vyote vya usalama. Ni wa kuhakikishia watu wa Kiambu ya kwamba vita iko, wale wanapika, wale wanauza ile second generation brews, wale watu wanatumia madawa haramu na wale wanauza. Tuko njiani tunakuja.
Vita yetu ni adui ambaye anaitwa madawa ya kulevya na pombe ambazo ni haramu. To focus hapo, tusipotee. Tuangalie na tuangazie pale kwamba vita ni zile mandawa na zile pombe haramu.
Now, internet connectivity in Kajiado County is said to be broadened after the government earmarked 8 sub-counties to connect thousands of people to mobile phones communication, among other services. The Principal Administrative Secretary at the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, Eric Kiriaide, says the initiative-funded Universal Service Fund will save locals the cost of traveling beyond their sub-locations for connectivity. Kiriaide, who was accompanied by officials from the Communication Authority, said that the initiative will be implemented in 12 other counties.
Government that whoever is in charge there can be able to look at a situation and be able to consult Kajiado District Hospital and help that lady, help that harder access services.
To health matters, the National Traditional Health Practitioners Association has signed a memorandum of understanding with the University of Nairobi to conduct clinical tests on herbal medicines. The move aims to regulate the medicines and herbalists, bringing recognition to herbal medicine as a legitimate form of disease relief.
Tunaanzia kila kabila la Kenya lilikuwa linatumiaji madawa yetu kabla hata ya hospitali za kizungu kuingia katika Afrika, walikuwa wanapona namna gani. Dawa yetu hayana side effect, ni nutrition. Madawa yetu ni nutrition, ni sawa na vile unakula matunda, vile unakula nyanya, vile unakula chinsaga, vile unakula mboga ya greens yoyote. Lakini hakuna side effect kwa miti yetu. Ndio sababu kila dawa tunataka tuifanyie utafiti, tujue hii ya sehemu hii inakuaje na hii ya sehemu hii inakuaje. Sasa hivi University of Nairobi wamepea sisi sehemu ya kufanyia research ya upandaji wa miti pale Kabete.
And now let's get sporty. 2023 Rome Marathon champion Betty Chepkwony will face stiff opposition when she lines up for the Dubai Marathon on Sunday. The women's race has attracted a strong field that includes defending champion Dera Dida.
Chepkwony, who made a breakthrough by winning Italy last year in a time of 2 hours, 23 minutes and 2 seconds, faces defending champion Deradida, who won last year's race in 2 hours, 21 minutes and 11 seconds. Also in the field is Osaka Marathon winner Ethiopia's Ivan Hailu. Hailu has victories in Rotterdam in 2022 and Osaka in 2023, while her personal best of 2 hours, 20 minutes and 19 seconds came after finishing third at the 2019 Amsterdam Marathon. However, Chepkwony said she's ready to spoil the Ethiopian dominance in Dubai. In the men's category, Ethiopians Workines Tadesse and Kabede Tulu are tipped favorites to win their first Dubai Marathon titles. Tadesse has a personal best of 2 hours, 5 minutes and 7 seconds from Hamburg Marathon in 2022, while Tulu has a personal best of 2 hours, 5 minutes and 19 seconds.
Let's head over to Europe now. Wolves earned an FA Cup third-round replay with Premier League rivals Brentford despite having Joe Gomez sent off after just 9 minutes. Fulham defeated Rotherham United 1-0 at Craven Cottage, while Tottenham beat Burnley 1-0 to move into the fourth round of the FA Cup.
With Juventus in the Italian Cup, saw on your screen a while back his skip looking for Richarlison, flag stays down, steers it wide. Johnson plays back, Bentancur and Porro to Kulishevsky. Burnley hard pressed at the moment. Kulishevsky deflected, double deflection. Johnson's header. There's O'Shea. Look at Ireland international. He has given it away. Richarlison, half a chance for Spurs. Didn't hit it cleanly. Richarlison's in the middle. There's the crossfield ball looking for Richarlison. Might come to him yet. A great run up from the back by Davis, I think it was, on the far side. That might leave him a little bit spare at the back, but now it's Porro. He's gone for goal, and he scored!
Oh, wow, what a hit.
Tottenham are ahead! 13 minutes to go!
And Revan almost turning into trouble. It's come back to Declan over Reed! What a finish!
All that marks the end of our bulletin this lovely afternoon. Don't forget the FA Cup continues this afternoon with Chelsea, Aston Villa and Brighton also expected to take on rivals in their home background. And of course it will continue to tomorrow afternoon as well. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. My co-anchor is Lucy Mora. Good afternoon for now.